Bum, 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 bum. Getting it now. I'm getting it where the timing is. All right. If you're joining me, that's because yet again we've got some more startling news as Variety is reporting a bunch of stuff about how Bon Jovi is claiming he almost got Val Kilmer's role in the Michael Mann film Heat. So let's dig into this a little bit because Jon Bon Jovi is not a particularly good actor. And I don't believe at any point he had worked with Michael Mann previously or at any point in the future. And I believe that's kind of what old Bon Jovi digs into here himself. So I guess he's been doing a lot of articles. He's probably got a book coming out. He's not touring. He messed up his throat again. He's one of those throat guys. He's had to have vocal surgery multiple times. So he's one of those dudes. So he's out talking and I guess doing book tours more than anything. But apparently back in old 1995, Jon Bon Jovi, what up, Daniel? Leapt into acting, starring in a movie called Moonlight and Valentino opposite Gwyneth Paltrow. I am familiar with Moonlight and Valentino. I feel like I watched it once, maybe in the early 2000s, but I don't remember anything about it. And I kind of don't remember Bon Jovi being in it. So he was opposite Gwyneth Paltrow. He must not have made a very memorable, lasting impression on me with his performance. The main thing I remember about Bon Jovi's acting career is him getting roasted by Robert Smigel as Triumph, the insult comic dog. I remember that very, very distinctly. We might get into that in a moment here. But apparently, that's when he got in. Apparently, he got into the biz in 95. On the television side, he had a 10-episode arc on Ally McBeal in 2002. He was the painter heartthrob, Sir Pephany. Thank you. That's good to know. That seems like I kind of remember the film. I forgot that it was Jovi. I might have said it was like Peter Krause or something like that if you had hard-pressed me on that. You're stripping of the Bon Jovi. Did you hear Scottie Pippen on the radio today? No, I didn't. I don't know what you're talking about. What's up? How's it going, everybody? Thank you all. All right, back to Sir Pephany. Actually, let's get the banner up. Let's keep it up there. Bon Jovi, is he taking down Val Kilmer? So he did a little bit of acting there. I'll go through his full filmography here in a second, look for anything that really jumps out. But he told this interviewer that looking back, he recalls nearly getting the role that eventually went to Val Kilmer in Heat. Now, Heat is a solid film. It's a 1995 film from Michael Mann. It's got De Niro and Pacino. People like it a whole bunch. It's very well shot. It's very beautiful. Lots of great action sequences. I didn't grow up in an era where I was just dying to see Pacino and De Niro share a scene together. So it did not resonate with me when I was a 10-year-old for sure. I more watch it now in appreciation of how Michael Mann put together the set pieces and how the story is crafted and the acting performances, one of which is by Val Kilmer. So apparently, Bon Jovi quoted, "I wasn't good enough in the audition to listen to Michael Mann. He wanted to do it 3, 4, 5 times. Quote, take your shoes off. Jump on that couch. Talk to me. How would you do this?" Apparently, Bon Jovi says he just repeated the lines. And that's terrible. That's about the exact opposite of what you should do. I definitely had a theater teacher once who, after I read a monologue, he was like, "Hey, could you just do that again and act as if you were just getting eaten by an alligator?" And this was not a comedic monologue. This was a very dramatic monologue. So a lot of times directors, theater people, they'll just tell you to do the opposite or just see what your comfort zone is, see where you'll go with it. So it sounds like Bon Jovi borked the audition there. He went on to say he sent a self-tape in for a role in The Perfect Storm. Or sorry, let me back. Oh, that's all they mentioned on Heat right there? Psh, what a rip. So anyway, the role eventually went to Val Kilmer. Val Kilmer, hell of a human. I'll get to him in just a moment. Back to Bon Jovi here. Apparently, he sent a self-tape in for a role in The Perfect Storm. Thank you, Anthony. I didn't have much. I was just playing basketball. The Perfect Storm, is that the Clooney film? Is that Clooney Wahlberg in The Perfect Storm, or is that a different one? Is that the one with the real big giant-ass wave? Perfect Storm? Yeah, Clooney in 2000. Who directed that one? I'm sorry, I'm bad about this. Oh, Wolfgang Peterson, duh. Okay. So yeah, apparently he sent a self-tape in for a role in The Perfect Storm, but never even received a response back from the director or casting director. And Bon Jovi claims, if I had gotten those kind of roles, what is my background? I don't know. It's gold. I was like, hey, if I'm going to be talking Hollywood today, I'll talk some film stuff. I was like, this kind of looks filmic a little bit. So that's what I went with for the background there. I don't know. It's nothing fancy. It's a filmic news background in a golden hue. So apparently Bon Jovi goes on. Get back to my banner. Is he taking him down? Who knows where it would have gone? And that's tough because I did go pull up Jon Bon Jovi's. Actually, let me get into this. I pulled up his IMDb first to look at his entire film history here. IMDb is a wasteland if you're looking at musicians who also became actors because it includes every damn one of these music videos in here. It's insane. Hold on, I might be I'll share it over here. Let me get the share going. Share the Jon Bon Jovi IMDb. Perfect. Share that thing. Great. So yeah, it includes every single one of his music videos. And I get it because you want the music video directors in there, and so they need their own loving. But people are rating these things. I mean, so it's just, it's very, very difficult. John was in a Christmas movie. We'll get to that in a moment here. So IMDb turned out to be very difficult to rely on there. So let's go back over here. Stop that screen from sharing. But Wikipedia did one hell of a job. So let's kick old Wiki over here. Let's get that screen going because it's more fun. Give me the Wiki. Give it to me. All right. Control, scroll in. Woo! I have fun with Zoom. Okay. So I guess he was uncredited in Young Guns. Then there's that Moonlight and Valentino thing that we got there. I looked through all of this. I was like, I remember U571. I kind of remember Homegrown, but I feel like I'm getting it mixed up with Home Fries, which is maybe a bad, not bad. I don't know that I ever saw it. Underperforming is what I would say. Maybe Drew Barrymore film. Was that Home Fries? I can't remember. No, I don't think it was. I'm bad. I got to look it up now. Vampires Los Muertos. So that's what takes me back to the Robert Smigel Triumph the Insult Comic Dog thing. There was a brilliant moment, and I've heard Conan reference it on his podcast a couple times, especially when Smigel's around, because Conan is a very sensitive, delicate interviewer where he's happy to have fun with his guests, but he by no means wants to antagonize them or put them down in any way, shape, or form. So I believe he did get a question one time of like, hey, have you ever seen anybody get legitimately offended or upset? Have you ever felt like you've gone too far? And he mentioned one time a joke that Smigel made and just the way that maybe Jon Bon Jovi was not prepared to hear these kinds of insults about his acting career. And I might butcher the joke, but I believe it was something along the lines of, and this is right around 2000 when he was doing U571. So must have been doing press and they knew the vampires thing was coming out. But it was something along the lines of, hey, I hear you're going to be in a new vampire movie. That's great. Finally, an acting role that requires you to suck. And you could see Jon Bon Jovi's face just kind of go pale white. And I get it. This is 12 years into his career. He gives up in 2011. And he just says, like, I'm not an actor. And that had to sting. And even when he was on TV, a lot of times at the end there, they're like, hey, can you just pop on and be Jon Bon Jovi? We see that you want to do stuff, but we don't really want you to do things. So could you just be Bon Jovi? So all that to say, I'm glad he didn't get the Heat role. I'm probably glad he didn't get the Perfect Storm role. I feel like I wanted to see U571, but I definitely didn't. So I know it was about submarines. What's the Christmas movie? I missed it. Row Your Boat, Homegrown, National Lampoon's Pucked, New Year's Eve. Is New Year's Eve a Christmas movie? It might be. Anyway, he should not have gotten the Heat role. He should not have gotten any of those other roles. He did go on to say that he's been pitched Bon Jovi Broadway musicals a ton. So, quote, I've been asked to do that hundreds of times. Says everybody wants to write the story of Tommy and Gina from Living on a Prayer. So he essentially says he turns it down every time, basically because ABBA's already done it and Jersey Boys have already done similar kind of plays on their career or song inspirations. So I don't know. I guess he doesn't want to be an actor. He went on to say a bunch of other stuff, but now I'm going to move over to Val Kilmer, the man that really brought me to this. I'm amazed that Jon Bon Jovi is out there talking about how he thought he should have got a role. And I take it back. He didn't say he thought he should have gotten it. He just said he was up for it. So now that's canon. Now we all have to, I guess, add that into the film history of Heat, that Jon Bon Jovi was a potential casting choice for Heat. It seems like a terrible idea, especially when you look at the fine, wonderful work of one Val Kilmer over here. So Val, let me stop that screen. Let me go over here, present this guy, share one more. Give me Val. All right. Now, Val Kilmer's, I'm going to have to say it. This is tricky. He might be my third favorite Batman, but he's probably my favorite Batman, gosh, as a fifth grader. Like, I don't think I appreciated Keaton as much in 92, in 89, you know, as 4 and 7 and stuff like that. So, I mean, I loved those films, but I believe I was 10 when Forever came out. So Val Kilmer was my Batman, and Jim Carrey was my primary villain. Now, again, Danny DeVito, Penguin, Catwoman, formative, Keaton, formative. Now, looking back, looking at what I watched the most as a young lad, it's clear that Batman Returns and Keaton is my number one Batman. But then you got to go Bale, I think. And then I almost go Kilmer there. I don't know who you'd put above him. I could go through the movies and tell you that Kilmer is not a very well-liked Batman. He's actually way down at the bottom. People like plenty more. People certainly like Will Arnett as Lego Batman. That's one people always forget about, but he's very good. People like the Pattinson guy. He's done well. People like Adam West, of course. Some people even like Ben Affleck. Incredible. But no, for me, Val Kilmer, you know, he's had some health issues, unfortunately. I believe he's got some form of throat cancer. I don't know if it's in remission or something like that. He was diagnosed in 2015, but he's certainly not in great health by any means. But he is still alive and well and with us as of now. But really, just wanted to take a quick moment to look at his Batman role. So we start as Iceman here, and that's the real first thing that got its hooks in me. Top Gun, Iceman '86, and I think that's all setting up. I mean, I know True Romance is outstanding. Doc Holliday, huge thing for me as a kid. I love Doc Holliday. Pops off the screen in Tombstone there, and I believe that's kind of the story about how he got into Batman. Is that in December '93, Batman Forever director Joel Schumacher went and saw Tombstone and was like, "Hey, who the hell is that Doc Holliday guy?" And says, "I'm going to make that dude Batman." And so that's a really smart play. But at the time, the role still belonged to Michael Keaton. Then in '94, Keaton, I guess, either got a look at the script. I don't know the exact surrounding circumstances, but he did not want to come back for the next Batman film. His career went in a weird place there in the mid '90s too. But I guess it's cited as creative differences. Who knows? But I guess William Baldwin was apparently apparently one of the top contenders. But yeah, just after Keaton dropped out, old Val Kilmer was cast, and his bright, wonderful, because I think there was maybe still a splash of yellow, maybe not though, in his Batman suit. It wasn't the nipple suit. George Clooney was the nipple suit. Well, either way, I think we can all conclusively agree that the acting career starting in '84 with Top Secret, going all the way through Top Gun Maverick here, far exceeds that work of Jon Bon Jovi. I don't know that Val Kilmer did anything on the music charts, so Bon Jovi can have that going for him. And I guess Bon Jovi has throat issues, but not near as bad as Kilmer. So it did strike me as odd that they were out there talking about each other. He seemed to be nice as all get out there. But either way, that is my breaking coverage on Bon Jovi trying to take down Val Kilmer. Val Kilmer! I don't think it's going to happen, though. Val is alive and with us. Val Kilmer's acting career stands tall. I don't think Bon Jovi can talk about how bad he was in that casting audition anymore. I don't appreciate people just saying that stuff, though, because now I have to reference it. Like, hey, did you know Jon Bon Jovi was considered for that role? And that's something that I don't want to have to mention all the time. I'm happy to talk about Bon Jovi every now and then, but I don't want to have to talk about it all the time. And now there's so many of these casting what ifs, it's tough. Now you got to add every single one of them, and there's no recourse. Like now we've got to go check with other people. It's a whole big thing. So anyway, that's all for tonight. Go have a drink. I think Mavs play tomorrow, or do something fun in your garage. Have a good evening.